I hate to ruin your beloved childhood anecdotes, so if you rather not thank the memories of the wonderful land you have recalled from those days of being young, I suggest you not read this. I wish it weren't so, but unfortunately this story is entirely an altered truth. My mother always possessed a special reserved spot in her heart for The Wizard of Oz. I decided that it would be best to purchase her the tape as a birthday gift. She was swiftly entering her later years, and she could use a reboot of her childhood. I pursued the internet, but I couldn't find a valuable gift for her. Sure enough, discovering the tape of The Wizard of Oz was no difficult feat. But I wanted a special edition for her. Eventually, after doing some research, I noticed a guy posting on the comment section for The Wizard of Oz, offering what he said, a great deal special edition of The Wizard of Oz, only $50. I found this attempt in English rather humorous, but I rather looked it over and sent him a message. Nearly right away, as if automatic text, I received a reply. So you're the interest, I see. Go to PayPal and send money there. You are about to make a great adventure. I thought it was a bit odd, but I overlooked it due to this struggle with English. After paying him over PayPal, I felt somewhat worried as to whether or not he would follow through. He explained that I would receive it within a week. After waiting a week, I collected my package. It was smothered in a cheap thin brown paper. I tore through and dug through the wrapping to reach for the package. Written on it were the ordinary return address with a short message saying enjoy. I was pleased after tearing such through the paper to discover a VHS of The Wizard of Oz. On the cover, it was written in bold black ink stating uncut. I was content to discover this VHS of The Wizard of Oz. On the cover was written, I was content to see my mother would soon bear a special version of her favorite film. I decided that it would be best to look through the tape and see what exactly I was giving for my mom for her birthday. Once sliding the tape into the VCR and tampering with it to get the old dusty device to work, the tape began. From a very old intro of the film, things appeared differently. The title that filled the screen didn't read The Wizard of Oz. Instead, all it read was uncut, in pale white text surrounded by the pitch dark backdrop. There was no music or audio at this point, and it seemed it stayed on the title screen for nearly a minute. The video was taken hastily cut to a clip. The VHS tape was definitely from the movie, as it showed Dorothy roaming the vast plains of Kansas. But something was different. The camera angle was completely altered. It appeared to be a new angle that I had never viewed before. Instead of the continuously running, the clip then cut to a scene where she spoke with Glinda, the Good Witch. The angle, in fact, which was being filmed, was off again. The other noticeable aspect of this angle was whoever was filming it didn't belong where they were. They moved almost as if they were hiding. I also found quite difficult to hear the dialogue between Dorothy and Glinda, as most of it was suffocated by a violent and deep breathing, seeming to be emanating from whatever held the camera. The next clip cuts off to the backstage. However, nobody was in the area and it just appeared entirely vacant, as if they had the day off. There looked to be a palette of face paint, and whoever held the camera was spreading some substance on the face paint, almost mixing it appeared. The next clip was somewhat disturbing. It showed a memorable scene where Dorothy was angry at the lion and hit him for doing something wrong. However, like any other blooper reel, she began to laugh uncontrollably, and the actress found it hard to stop. From this point on, the director, Victor Fleming, hastily walked up to her on set, brushed his hands behind his waist, and with an open palm, slapped her in the face. At the time, Judy Garland, the girl who played Dorothy, was only a child, and Fleming, a well-aged man, had slapped her in the face. I found this quite disturbing, and my stomach seemed to quickly betray my feeling of content. The next clip was once again an obscure angle, but what the film held was disheartening. Buddy Ebsen was the original person cast for the Tin Man. Apparently he had personal issues stopping him from performing the role. However, though, I found this new footage would suggest otherwise. The paint I had seen from the person messing with before now being applied to his skin. Shortly after, he began to struggle to breathe. Gasping for air of each breath echoing from his mouth was a rattling, rasping sound. Looking at this fully dilated eyes, I could see the fight for his life. Medics quickly rushed to the stage to help him. The camera once again cut to a new scene. It looked like whoever the person was filming was now working on the Feeder Tech area. It appeared to where the controls for the lights and when they turned the dials up. I had remembered reading before that the actors had suffered heat exposure throughout the film. I felt an unsettling feeling as I watched these clips. I knew whoever did the taping was obviously trying to kill the performers. The next clip was quite unnerving, as it showed Margaret Hamilton, the woman who played the Wicked Witch, in the scene where she is disappearing into smoke. To make it clear, she was only vanishing in this clip, and it was supposed to be melting or dying. It wasn't. But as she disappeared through the smoke, she quickly began yelling and screaming, "It burns! Help me! Help, I'm burning!" It was clear that the smoke vapor contained chemicals to cause her to burn. She tumbled to the ground as the smoke cleared, and she was covered in third-degree burns. Her skin looked angrily singled as the tears rolled down from her eyes. The filming moved to the camera, as if he expected this to happen. The last clip of this montage of eerie videos was far by the most revolting. It was vile and sickening. In the original film, where there several little creatures called munchkins ran freely. However, it showed a new angle that almost looked like behind the set. In the distance, the sounds of Dorothy singing with the Tin Man and Lion crept in. The munchkin looked at the camera, began begging and crying, "Please, please don't do this to me." Tears streamed from his face, and his face was full of fear. The poor man had a noose tangled around his neck, and he stood on a ledge. Whoever filmed him pushed the man off the ledge and let gravity do the rest. Instantly his neck snapped and his body dangled like a rag doll. It swung back and forth in the backdrop of the scene. I was filled with discontent. The film just ended. I decided to do research on the uncut tape. I discovered that there was supposedly one of the audience that ever viewed this version of the film, and they hastily made changes following it. Reading deeper into the facts surrounding the film, I discovered the unsettling truth years later. Carla Blandick, the actress of Ed M., had taken her own life. At the start of the note, she wrote, "I'm about to make a great adventure." I remembered it shocked it sounded familiar. The exact same phrase had been spoken by the man who sold me the video. I felt disturbed by this point and decided to view her entire note. She mentioned that there was some sort of inescapable pain. Then I learned that Judy Garland, or Dorothy, accidentally overdosed on drugs years later. This is highly speculated, however. I turned the VHS on to see if I missed anything, and then I noticed I never let it stop playing. I had only just turned the TV off. The film is yet to be over. It then cut to black for a brief moment. The camera now panned around a dark room, and it was hard to make out what exactly it was. Then it shifted and showed just barely tinted of light of the dead body of Judy Garland. I rather felt discomfort and turned off the film. I went back to my research and I soon found out that there was a speculation of the hanging munchkin. In one of the scenes, the hanging munchkin is actually visible. All the facts present matched up to this twisted version of the film. I then decided that whoever the sick, horrid person made should be put in jail. I turned the tape to the cops and gave them a return address. I asked them to keep me updated on the case, but they said they never found anything. It was unfortunate that they never gave me the footage back, and it's still in their possession. My belief is they were paid off by whoever did these sick things. However, I tried my best to get the information out. Look it up yourself. Everything that happened was true. I find it so disturbing that it consumed my life. So if you do find the footage, I highly recommend you do not watch it. It'll ruin your life. It expels all happiness and content in your life. I can't stand the sickness anymore. It's eating me up. I'm about to make a great adventure.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video. And I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, Be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.